Right, buddy, welcome back to the latest news update. Now, we'll be talking about Saudi coming in for Malacia and Anthony. We've also got some news on some other interesting things. I might talk about Ruben Amorim's quotes as well, some of the things that I thought that were interesting until the backlash that has come out. But yeah, Martinez, Ollie Watkins, and yeah, that's really about it. Now, again, the Anthony story. So we've heard about Anthony to Saudi. Now his agent, Junior Pedroso, confirms there's interest from Saudi Arabia and the player is open to moving there. So again, listen, Saudi clubs, again, I feel like there's been talks that Anthony to Real Betis seems off, and I think that's probably why he is discussing moves with Saudi and other interesting parties. I think it makes sense for Anthony to leave United, but again, Ruben Amorim has not ruled out the potential possibility in his press conference yesterday about these players returning. He said that if obviously Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada, they have a particular price for these players. However, if these prices cannot be met, they will be returning to the squad. Now, I do think Anthony genuinely is one of those players that wants to leave and play football, and I think he did have a decent loan spell at Betis. But again, do I think he will leave United? I still think he will. I think Saudi being interested, agents open talks. I think his agent probably understands the move that's probably best for him is now to leave Manchester United. And again, you get a player who's on probably 180, 200k per week out the door, and then you also open up a space, whether for example that can be a space for Bentito Mantasso or some other young players to come through. But if I was to check Anthony's wages quickly, I'm sure it's in the region of like 180 to 200k per week. I'm sure of that, but again, it is a lot of money to be paying a player, and again, we're not going to make any profit on him. Actually, no, we might, because I did see something about the FFP and new financial year and whatever. But in terms of what Anthony's on at Manchester United, have a guess. I'm going to say 180k per week. No, I'm going to say 150. Anthony's on £105,000 per week. So again, you get rid of some sort of wage, which again is huge. Obviously, Embuemo, in terms of other wages, I just wanted to see Embuemo's on 150, which is reasonable, and Cunha is on 180. So yeah, but in terms of what I'm looking at here, the fact that Jadon Sancho hasn't played for United in, I don't know when was his last game, but he's still earning 250k per week is ridiculous. But going back to Anthony, again, his exit's very, very open. Atletico Madrid have been interested in recent days. So have obviously Saudi clubs. So let's see what develops with that. Now, as I said, Amorim did talk in his presser yesterday. He said some players have to move to make space in the team. Others want a new challenge. He's talking about the outgoings there. Now, this is what Ben Jacobs has said on the Ollie Watkins stuff. He said United have made contact with Aston Villa. Aston Villa don't want to lose Watkins. They certainly won't entertain any kind of significant talks unless they're around a replacement or unless someone meets their valuation, which is 60 million. Manchester United will meet that valuation. So yeah, I think what we're trying to look at here is Ollie Watkins leaving Aston Villa. Again, I think if it comes down for it and United put in a suitable offer, again, they've obviously just lost Duran as well. Was that this January? I think it was this January, but they did, or was it the summer? I can't remember, but they have lost John Duran recently. I think if it comes to a certain point of a window, they're going to deny it, because then they would have to find a replacement, which again makes perfect sense. They wouldn't want to lose a player unless they have a replacement lined up, which makes sense for why Manchester United would go in for him now. Manchester United don't want to pay 60 million. I don't think he's worth 60 million, especially with the financial issues that Aston Villa have. I think he's worth way less than that. I think he's probably worth, in terms of what he's worth, probably 30-40 million max is what I would go for. But yeah, let's see what happens with the Ollie Watkins stuff. He definitely is a decent player, and someone that I would like at United. But again, 60 million is quite pricey, to be honest. Now, another player we've been linked to is Emi Martinez. Again, we reject a loan move has been rejected. Do I think Emi Martinez to United will materialise? Probably not. But yeah, let's see what develops there, to be fair. United keep saying they're making contact. He's the one chosen by Ruben Amorim. That's coming from the Argentinian side. So that deal, well, could still happen, but I just don't think it will. Now, lastly, talk about tonight's game, midnight, Manchester United versus West Ham. A huge game in terms of seeing Mbeumo and Cunha maybe make their debut together. I think that is obviously huge. Seeing some young players again. I want to see Kobe Mainoo. I thought he had a good game, second half against Leeds. As I said, Bruno and Mbeumo. I still think we need a midfielder. I'm still going to say that. But again, excited to see some of these young players get their opportunity that they deserve. And yeah, let's see what happens in this game tonight. It's a late one, but again, it's going to be a good game, and I'm excited to see what the players do and how the players perform in a game like this. But again, you want to see their sort of connections building and see what Ruben Amorim can really do with this squad. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Peace.